Greetings, hello, welcome, hi. It's your boy, Dr. Tune, Dr. The Tunes. You're not tuned in, Tune TV. One moment, I got to put on my headphones. My headphones. What I was trying to do, I was trying to play the song as the thing came in. I didn't figure out how links work last time, but now I do. Now I know how the sound works, so we're gonna try again. It's my birthday, but we still talking shit all day, type shit.
She's got my soul, she's got my heart. Light up, gas finna spark. I can tell you about our journey and how things.
We got a great show for you guys tonight. Yeah, we got a lot of topics, hot topics. Hot topics. Let me hear you see if my shit gonna work.
Damn, son, where'd you find this? My feelings on ecstasy, cause everything's for perfect around you. Yeah, what am I around you? Damn, how did that sound? Like this is the killing time. See what this turned into. Wanna see what this turned into. After all the things I've been through, matured and grown my
This is a certified hood. This is a certified hood classic.
Yo. Ooh, and on your nameless down, plugged in, I'm tapped into the gang, Colio, go. Me and this Mexican hoe finna roll up an Ocho. Baby girl finna roll up an A. She gon' do whatever it takes, cause she know y'all niggas are great. In the pussy, yeah, I'm going 8, like I came from the planet of 8. I swear to God, you know it's some heat. If it's something young niggas have made, Tony Hawk, yeah, I'm finna skate. Power Ranger went out of space. Jeff Bezos went right out of space. Get high, yeah, I'm finna face.
There's something that Elon Musk and neon sluts and neon guts, yeah. She got a big ass, yeah. She shaking that neon blunt. I'm wrapping it up, all I see is stardust. I don't want atoms, is all I see with every thrust.
This beat is going cypher. This beat is sound like CGI. It's like I'm Colio, little bitch, give me head. Guys. She look at me with her eyes. Andrea 18, oh my god. But it's empty inside. Ghost in the shell, is she a spy? Damn, I'm feeling like a spy. Double O big 4-9, yeah. I'm getting over the spine, yeah. I'm doing it one more time, yeah. Swear out I'm the highest, yeah. I'm chilling with O'Ryan, yeah. You not American Idol, but I'ma judge you like I'm Simon, yeah. Ain't no freestyling, but a nigga wild styling like a nigga Wick Cannon. I mean John Wick Cannon. I'm proud like I show your worth. Pulling up like I'm Captain Kirk. Me and my team finna do the work.
Hello.
To another earth. Sure wanna take her around my spaceship. I got move rocks, I got pigs in it. If an alien pull up on me, make him do the cowboy bebop. Because you know I got them big clips, big six like a lifesaver, yeah. Like I'm Darth Vader, yeah. No, I'm not your savior, yeah. I got two sides, like dark side, yeah. And I deal with both every night. The starry night, yeah. Day and night, kick anybody, Superman, I fight their size. White VVS look like white North Star. Finna get this alien hoe treat her like porn star. You gon' see me in the speeder whipping like a foreign car. I'm just trying to use my PTO and take a trip to Mars. Look, yeah, yo, ho, she gotta chill, cause I feel like Peter.
This is a certified hood classic.
We finna say the universe, we finna say your planet, like Planet Man. It's gone, yeah. It's gone. Now they're gone. They belong, now they're gone.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Sweet.
Hi, greetings, welcome, hello, hi, it's your boy Dr. Shin, Dr. The Tunes. You're not tuning in to Tune TV. We got a great show for y'all today, and I'm about to give y'all the new tunes and the new dramas. I'm about to do it on a little different things. Shout out, I got my teacher on my live, but it's in my IG live. I'm a wave. I'm doing good. Shout out to her. That's Miss Jones. She was a cool teacher in middle school. Shout out to her. All right, so we're gonna transition to the background music. I have background music playing. All right, boom. Yeah, it should be working. We can see. All right. Dropped recently along with some drama too that's come out, and we're gonna try to do our best to get through it. We're here together. We are, Snuggle Squad Entertainment, giving you the best in terms of music, hoops, drama, and things of the like. So to break the ice, there's a lot of new music that has came out from the likes of a few. Let me go look it up over here momentarily. I'm gonna share my screen with y'all on here. You can also catch us live on YouTube if you're on Instagram. If you're on the YouTube one, vice versa. Links all that in the bio. Screen, making myself bigger. I like being like half big person. All right, so I think ESTG dropped a single. There are also other people that dropped as well. Ari Lennox, she dropped an EP. So shout out Ari Lennox, like that Ari Lennox, that soulful sound. If you like some of that soulful sound, what I'm saying? Like that Ari. Oh, look. Oh, there you go. Okay. Got a Halsey, we got Twice. Now Nicki Minaj, his thing happened. It was a compilation. She did a compilation thing. I'm about to get off this live, but if you want to check me out on the other, y'all know where to find me. I'll be on YouTube. Hold on. Well, it's not. Here we go. Okay, cool. Okay, so Megadeth dropped. On the Megadeth, I saw Dave Mustaine do a Joe Rogan interview. I actually couldn't do it, but that did happen. I think the homie TR3 dropped again. Lil TJ and Black dropped a music video. That's crazy. Maybe this is just a little TJ stuff. Yeah. Oh, let me go back to my browse. So I'm gonna just do it off from we got a new CR3 dropped again. I think he dropped another single. Might be gearing up for the release of a tape, but I haven't talked to him recently about it. I'm gonna he's dropping a lot of music. I want to make sure all that is covered and that is leading up to. Yeah, he dropped a new single called Love Language. Yeah, that came through. I think that's the single. If y'all should check out, shout out my locals. And then Kendrick dropped his We Cry Together video. And I want to talk more about that in the marketing or cloud chasing segment because it was pretty raunchy, if I do say so myself. We'll get to that. Ari Lennox, Kenny Beats dropped a compilation tape with a lot of interesting artists on it. I didn't cover DJ Khaled, but he dropped his, being DJ Khaled. I'm DJ Khaled. I'm gonna drop my album and I'll put Drake on it. Khaled said something real funny, which I think was real true. Like most people who would be in that position, I feel would agree. Pretty much, he was discussing like working with Drake. And he's like, I like whatever Drake like. Now some people will take that and look at him like the dick eating is crazy. This is one of them dick eating memes, but he put in the perspective of most people will never work with this artist of this caliber. Most people will be lucky even be in the same room, same breath, same air. So I'm gonna just nod my head and go along with whatever they're saying. The counterpoints to that, which I've seen other content creators in music, like academics and others discuss, is like a lot of this new Drake stuff that are Cali singles have not been good. The Grease wasn't really good. Even the new song I did with Lil Baby, I like it because it's catchy. I personally like those guilty pleasure songs that are catchy just to be catchy. But I don't, in terms of everything else, they just flipped Staying Alive and they didn't really do much with it. You know what I'm saying? Even Lil Baby could not save this verse. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's interesting that I heard there's a good J verse. I haven't sat and listened to it. I don't like listening to Khaled albums because I don't know. Compilation albums aren't really my thing in general. I like a coherent piece of work that is through a vision of one artist. And you can say this was curated by DJ Khaled. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna deny that, but that's just a personal take of mine. I guess a different direction would be like that Kenny Beats tape. I want to listen to it and get a proper deep dive on it. I just seen it and I want to shout it out that Kenny Beats has dropped because I like a lot of his platform and what he does with the beat battles as well as he did the Cave. Things he did to put different artists in different positions and different looks and scenarios. I feel like that's interesting and it provided a lot of culture moving forward. So I appreciate what Kenny Beats has done in the producer community and the engineer community and bringing like Alex May, just more out in the open because people often don't know who these people are until other producers who are more known kind of put them in position. So that's something I wanted to shout out. I think Doji dropped a single too. And Av dropped a single. So those are the current things. I think ESTG dropped again. Youngboy and Quando Rondo dropped. And I think that's all gearing up because NBA Youngboy is going on tour and he's taking Quando Rondo with him. So that I think all that is tying together in the lead up to that. Very interesting to see where that goes. All right, so we're gonna go into just the marketing or tasting segment, and I want to start off with good old Kanye. Now I want to start with painting Kanye in a brighter light, because like immediately after this, it kind of goes like left. But before, like when he's doing stuff like this, it's off the Grand Wizard, the chat nigga page. Good page. Let me make my screen a little smaller.
Guy from thrift stores is not going to save the guy. It's not enough. It's not enough. And I love Gap with you guys. It's the third one. Here we go. You have to really give me the position today and do what I'm thinking, or I'm gonna have to do thinking somewhere else. Because one thing I've learned from Virgil, if something's killing you, it's actually killing you. And then kids are buying Gap from thrift stores. It's not going to save the Gap.
This is him talking about Gap essentially, and how like he is trying to get more empowered to do what he wants to do within the Gap organization, and he is citing different things that Gap is doing that he finds isn't good for conducting good business. He's looking at the ones and zeros, and the math isn't mathing. The things he pointed out in that open meeting that I'll play other clips later is he had 3 million emails from Adidas that he had, part of part of why people buy businesses out and all those things, those mergers, those acquisitions, and why people leave certain country, see certain companies and whatnot, is that the biggest asset a company has is information, is your emails. Those email lists are worth a lot of money because they come with a list of people that are trusted in this certain company and this brand. So when they buy these emails and they're able to acquire these emails, they become invaluable in terms of launching a new business venture, remarketing, retooling, launching new products, all that. So Kanye said, I have 3 million of Adidas's emails and y'all are not using those. That is crazy. He also brings up the fact that Gap, they had sold hoodies for like $80 and they made 14 million and only ran one ad on it, and they never chose to rerun the ad. Typically when a product is very successful and there's an ad campaign, they keep rerunning the ad. They only ran the ad once. Why aren't you running the ad if you know that this is successful? He deems those things as insane, and that's why he said, if I'm not allowed to do what I want to do, you're killing me. I'm gonna have to, and I only bring it up if you're killing me, you're really killing me. I'm gonna have to dip. So I feel that's a very strong position to come.
That's insane. I got 3 million emails over to Adidas and we didn't use them. That's insane. That's insane. We sold 14 million hoodies at $80 with no logo on it off of one commercial and never ran the commercial again. That's insane. Pierre, you only ran one sample set on a Balenciaga collection. I'm sitting next to Anna Winter and Cedric watching an Adidas Balenciaga collaboration I knew nothing about. That's insane. We never did a fashion show. That's insane. We canceled the pre-order of the blue jacket.
They also never did a fashion show. I also feel like that's crazy. Y'all never did a fashion show. Like that's, Kanye's known for fashion shows.
This way, but you're gonna see it. You either believe me or I'm gonna show you.
And notice at the end they were laughing at him. He's dead ass. Either you gonna let me do this, I will do this here, or I will do this elsewhere. Interesting how quick they are to not take him seriously. This is another clip.
No, it's not a joke. In Virgil's name, in my mama's name. I'm telling you what it is. Don't fucking clap.
He said, don't fucking clap. I will leave. You think this is a game? I will leave. Very powerful. Especially in the room of all them white folk. But yeah, okay. So that was the good part. I just wanted to get that out of the way because, he started going at Kim again, because it's really, I don't think it's against Kim, it's against Chris. Kanye never liked Kris Jenner, the momager. But in my opinion, picking a fight with the momager is a losing battle. I recently watched the new Mike docuseries on Hulu. Really, it's a guilty watch, because apparently, according to Mike Tyson, he did not approve of any of that. He doesn't like any of that being used, any image of him being used, but because, he feels like that's not an accurate description of what happened in his life. So, so take that with a grain of salt. But during an episode of that docuseries, he's talking about meeting Robin Gibbons and how the mom was the momager. And, Tyson was a lot more naive than Kanye in that sense. He wasn't even trying to fight with the momager. He's got finesse, bamboozled, got his money took by the momager. Kanye in a similar position. You got caught up in the momager games. So they said in this one, it says, so the reason Kanye's been wilding on Instagram today is because Ski and Kim are allegedly back together and apparently took Kim's kids out at the Cheesecake Factory. If that's true, that sounds hilarious. The beef with Ski will never end. Ask Pete how those tattoos on my kids are doing in the trauma unit. Madness. He's saying all this stuff. I think he even said Kim got diarrhea. He's saying all types of wild things. I mean, it don't really sound like that's gonna help you see your kids. Any of this don't sound like it'll help you have a closer relationship with your children, So that's just a personal thing. I always find that interesting, that Kanye can be both the guy who curse out the white people and demand independence for his craft and all that in one breath, and then the next breath he is cursing out Kim and saying she got diarrhea. Very interesting. All right, so marketing or cloud chasing? Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash just found out that DMX died. He's been dead for a year. I'm gonna delete that because I don't know about the music. But yeah, people basically say she didn't know she died, and I didn't know this was Stacey Dash. I thought Stacey Dash was a different shade, different person, had different face, all that. That's the Stacey Dash I remember. So this person, I don't know who the fuck this is. This is a Stacey Dash clone. Goddamn. So I know, like, everybody talking about everybody else got a clone. Shorty is a clone right here. I don't know who this is. She don't even know who DMX is. Did they replace her with the Stacey Dash I remembered who DMX was? Like, that's all I'm saying. So I just find that interesting. But all jokes aside, the issue with celebrities is that they live in their own world. They live in their own bubble. They don't live in the real world with us. They could probably turn off Twitter and just go on and live their fancy smancy life over there and not worry about, what we us plebeians do, writhing in the mud. So that is very well, could be true, but that's not a excuse. That's not your way out. That's an indictment. You should be more tapped into these people that you say you care about. Things like this is why people say Hollywood is fake. None of it is real. These friends are not friends. These are business opportunities. As soon as you are become a liability, you are gone, you are forgotten, and you are buried, only for them to cry about you a year later. Find that very interesting. Speaking of media games, the Ari Spears and Lizzo drama just took a different turn, a turn for the worse. So allegedly, Ari Spears and Tiffany Haddish have recently been in the Daily Beast, right? And I'm gonna handle this with a grain of salt because these are new allegations, and I don't like the timing. If this came out not right after Ari Spears and the Lizzo thing happened, then I'm more likely to listen to. Well, there's another reason too, that these allegations are being filed in a civil suit. I don't even know if the civil suit was filed, but it's like court documents of an unfiled. Let me see if I can find the Daily Beast article. Because it was a Daily Beast article. I don't want to say anything inaccurate. So all this is allegedly, and I don't want to throw anybody under the bus in any capacity. Also, I just want to tell jokes because this really is an indictment on the parents in the entertainment industry. Because the thing I never understand is you don't know any of these people. Why are you leaving these people with your kids? So basically, in this article, they the Jane Doe there's a Jane Doe and a younger brother who always knew Tiffany Haddish as Auntie Tiff, and I think at the time Haddish and Ari Spears were doing Mad TV, and they did Funny or Die. So those are the two clips they're discussing. So I think in the Mad TV clip, they had to they were on opposite ends of like a Subway sandwich, and they were giving like sounds of fellatio, which is very inappropriate. Yeah, they were Tiffany verbally explained what was expected to plaintiff Jane Doe, and then show plaintiff Jane Doe to give fellatio, including movements, noises, moaning, and groaning. So they're very uncomfortable with that. That's one. And another one, it was a Funny or Die thing. That Funny or Die has since like deleted. I think both of these clips are deleted. You can't find them on the internet. And in the Funny or Die clip, it was called Watch You Leave Your Kids With, and it was essentially this the boy, the younger brother, was essentially like oiled up, lathered up, and had to play on a train in a very explicit way. The boy felt immediately scared, and so nothing actually happened to them. They were not abused, but because they were filmed and they're uncomfortable, they didn't have a parent. Again, I'm more mad at like this would not have happened if a parent, like people always say, like they trust. Oh, I thought I trusted this person. This Auntie Tiff. I would never trust my kids with these randoms. I don't know you people. If I'm doing anything on set, like I would have my kid. I'd be watching my kid if I'm able. Like people who are unable to do that should not have their kids, in my opinion, in show business. You see all that stuff with Nickelodeon and Dan Schneider, all those allegedly. Like you gotta watch your kids. You gotta have somebody there who gonna look out for your kids. So that's where I'm at with it. But I don't want to say anything definitive or not definitive. I think it's weird, again, that this came out right after Lizzo and after Ari Spears said whatever about Lizzo, and this came in, at a convenient time. Allegedly, they didn't have traction for this alleged lawsuit, paperwork, whatever. They couldn't get no traction, so this is a convenient way to throw it in there. I don't know. I find it convenient. This is what people like to call hit pieces. When you go against the norm, people tend to attack you. The media is used. That's why I have this media platform, or I want to start this and grow this as a media platform. It is good to have self-representation in media. It is good to understand that there are games being played in media. It is not a certain thing or the other. People will throw stories because you just said something that somebody else didn't like. So because you said something that somebody didn't like, they're going to throw hit pieces at you. They're going to say things, or they're going to stretch the truth and misconstrue things that isn't entirely true. And then you find out later that all this wasn't true. People get canceled over this. People lose their jobs over certain things, especially in terms of accusations of any SA, any domestic dispute, anything of that nature. There's a lot of nuance to a lot of these situations that is never really false accusations, things of that nature. And I'm not saying this is a false accusation. I'm not saying I do not know what happens over here. I do not know the full details, but these things are weaponized, and that should be acknowledged. These things can be used to silence people for saying things that are not okay, or that's not considered the mainstream, that's not considered acceptable. So that should always be. So when I talk about different stories and things, I will let you, the audience, decide at the end of the day. This story came out. How convenient is that this story came out at this time? Another good example of that is Academics was going to do a podcast. I wish he did it, but I understand why he didn't. He was going to do a podcast about Meg Thee Stallion because Meg Thee in the ongoing Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez situation, academics got involved and was basically calling Meg a worker, a peon, just making fun of her, talking shit, things that he does. And Meg Thee Stallion chose to basically accuse academics of running journalism and running stories, basically working alongside of Tory Lanez in the case, and he had to vehemently refuse and go very hard. And he was, going. Some people say he was going overboard. It could be argued he was trying to defend himself because there are a lot of you're accusing him of helping the other person in the case, and he's not doing that. So he chose not to. He was going to go in. He's going to go more in on Meg Thee Stallion, right? He chose to pull it back, I suspect, because immediately after he said he threatened to do this Meg Thee Stallion podcast, what happened was stories went viral on Twitter. Trends on Twitter were going viral for him allegedly saying things about minors, but those words were misconstrued because he did a video about Tyga during the time when Tyga was dating Kylie Jenner, and he was saying, "Isn't it weird that people just let Tyga kind of go crazy with the Kylie Jenner situation? She's 17, he's 24. What is happening? All this is weird." And they took a clip out of that and said he is okay with people being with minors because he said back in the day when he was in college, he assumed somebody who was in college was of age. He wasn't checking IDs. And you could say that's weird, whatever, but that's in general, most people on college campus, you assume they're of age. Like most people would assume that. Same way if you're in high school, you assume people are minors. It's similar concept. So they took that and said that he thought it was okay. They did media games. They did that against him. So he had to retract a story that he wanted to put out. So, these are again, media games. Is this marketing or cloud chasing? I don't know. So yeah, I really find that it's interesting how people will use stories and run things to, again, silence people, silence the audience. Another way of this is happening is if I can find the clip. Lil Baby is playing his own media game, in a sense. I'm gonna try to search the clip. Okay, so Lil Baby was caught with Stacey Abrams, and there's a tweet that said Operation Stop Rico. I thought it was real funny. Let me see if it'll pull up. Let me know if y'all hear everything when I play clips and whatnot. All the and please subscribe if you want to have comments. If you want to post comments and whatnot. Thank you. And yeah. So I'm trying to pull up this clip of Lil Baby, because he was with Stacey Abrams, and this is just one of those things that people do to control media, control narrative. These are things that people have to do. This is the whole people play the game. This is what people call quote unquote the game. Ads. I need that fire optic super duper Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just understand that people use different games and whatnot to paint narratives. According to this one YouTuber I watch, his name's Dom 2K, he says something all the time I resonate with all the time. Optics is everything. So, when we go to the sports topics and transition. All right, boom. All right, y'all hear this? All right. Look at Lil Baby. Hold on. Look at this man. He trying to see the bigger picture, y'all. It ain't even politics, y'all. I'm gonna cut this shit off, man. I hate hearing Yo, man, listen. Stacey Abrams said anything, bro. I had to cut that shit off because, bro, Stacey Abrams will literally say anything, bro. I'm so mad. Oh, man, no video sound. Y'all don't hear it. I'm gonna try to play it again.
Like, really understand how the world really works. So it ain't really just like politics. It's just like the world, like what's really going on. Like at some point you don't really understand that this type of stuff goes on. So it's like interesting to me to like really understand how the the world really works. So it ain't really just like politics. It's just like the world, like what's really going on, like how it really goes, how it really works.
We understand the mayor and we understand the president. They get away with so much because most of us don't learn about the state. And it's the state that decides. The state gets the money from the federal government, and the state decides how much money makes it to the local government, how much the mayor gets. And I would love your help thinking about a big part of this is making sure people understand why the governor matters. The governor was the one who's going to make the decision. And if we could get that out there, these are the things we see, but if we don't know, they made it so we won't know. And that's why I'm so excited about it.
Now, well, what Stacey Abrams said at face value is not wrong. I just don't like how politicians just talk down to rappers and they're used as marketing tools essentially to make it seem like I am standing next to this artist. I'm not anything. I'm not, because like she in one breath says I'm with the rappers, then in another breath says I'm gonna be strong on crime. I'm gonna crack down on this. So people were saying, making jokes on Twitter about this clip, saying, this is Operation Avoid Rico. They try to avoid Rico. So this is marketing or clout chasing. I think Stacey Abrams is clout chasing, but I think Lil Baby is trying to market himself out of jail. He said, "Feds, I'm with the governor." I know the last mayor of Atlanta, the whole thing with T.I. and Keisha Lance Bottoms is some of the reason why his allegations came out that I think they were proven false, but people go back and forth on that. And that's why he had to end his podcast, things of that nature, is because he was messing with politics. He was messing with the media and trying to, co-op for politicians. And that is a dangerous game. The media has different levels. So right now I'm doing this, the hip hop entertainment journalism. I don't even call myself a journalist, but just hip hop media and also sports media. Very similar. I'm doing a combination of both. There's echo. Okay. So I turned off the echo. Let me see if I can go to settings real quick. We appreciate all feedback. I'm trying to echo cancellation. All right. So what was I saying? So yeah, with media, people will use it in a lot of different ways and a lot of different outlets. So this Lil Baby thing is an example that politicians often use rappers for their campaign. They often use celebrities and whatnot for their campaign. You saw that Hillary Clinton thing with the hot sauce. So this is one example, right? All right, so he's doing this because a lot of people are coming down. The feds in Atlanta are coming down a lot hard on the YSL case, which we will go to now. Let me see how I go. In the YSL case, things are taking a dramatic turn. But understand, these are different ways people use different things in different ways. I don't really believe in the Illuminati, but I do believe people play chess games with media, and it all, like, what you say and how things are perceived in the public eye, all that connects. All those, if you have a good standing in the media, more money can happen. If you have a bad standing in the media, bad things happen. You're loved, you're hated, you're loved again. And people who understand that understand like how to always be good. A good manipulator of the media in the hip hop sphere is 50 Cent. 50 Cent is a savage. But why hasn't anybody ever been unable to completely get 50 Cent out of here? Even though he's done many an egregious thing. Because he understands how media works. He understands when to show his face and when to go away. All those things matter. All right, so let me see about this YSL. Let me know if y'all hear this. I'm going to turn off this. That might be a reason for the echo. I'm going to play.
A general tactic to push it as far past the election as possible by certain people.
You're an excellent reporter, but with that, I'm going to end this press conference. Thank y'all for coming.
We've seen a lot of delays, people not wanting to testify. Even some people who originally
They're talking about people not wanting to testify in the YSL case.
now filing to delay. Do you think this is part of a general tactic to push it as far past the election as possible by certain people?
You're an excellent reporter, but with that, I'm going to end this press conference. Thank y'all for.
So what the person was asking the question was, people are not in the YSL case. People are withdrawing their testimony not with testimony. It's hard to get witnesses. Witnesses are backing up because threats to their life, along with other things. They're being a pariah in their own community. There's a vested interest in saving Young Thug. Maybe it's why it's on 7. That's what people are saying now. That's a new meme. So because of that, that is another strategy. He's asking that paired with they're trying to stall the case until after the election, because based on who wins the election, they might be able to exonerate or pardon Young Thug of his crimes. Maybe it's Stacey Abrams. Why? That's why Lil Baby was Stacey Abrams. You understand? All this is. I won't say all of it's linked together, like open your mind, but it's linked together in the sense of people use media in different ways to influence certain outcomes, and these are some of those outcomes. So let me continue to move on through the next topic. Okay, so Joe Budden and Adam 22, they released their full podcast. It was a Patreon exclusive, so if you like Joe Budden's content, subscribe to his Patreon. But he released the episode with him and Adam 22, and they're discussing different parts of, again, hip-hop media, how media is used, because they're two media giants, and they're discussing how certain things, basically Joe Budden had a beef with Adam. The beef was this. So there's an old allegation against Joe Budden that's reported by, I think, Tahiri, I think that's X, that he did domestic disputes that have been since like 15 years ago. They've been proven false, but people, whenever he's trying to do something though that they don't like, they'll rehash this. A good example of this, when he's doing a Spotify deal, he's trying to negotiate a Spotify deal, trying to get the bag, and then those hit pieces, like we discussed earlier, how convenient that when I'm trying to do something, a hit piece, a media piece, things are happening, they are derailing me at this time, and they are messing up my bag. Another thing that's happening recently is with Triller. Swiss Beats and Timberland, they're suing Triller because they made a deal and they said they haven't been paid. And this is, and earlier the year, Triller is trying to go public. So this derails them going public, because bad media equates to you losing money because we don't want to spend money with you if they find out you're not doing good business. So keep that in mind. If you look bad, people don't want to do with you because of good business. Joe Budden, he was looked at as bad, as an abuser, even though those allegations are false. Because of those allegations, he looked crazy. So they didn't want to do the deal. That Spotify deal ended up falling through, and then other pressure happened. He had to break up his podcast. So again, these allegations are brought up again, and it was by the No Jumper staff. And Adam 22, and then so Joe Budden texted Adam. He said, "Hey, what the fuck is this story? Why is this story on here? What the fuck is you doing? These are false allegations." And Adam 22 basically said, "Well, Terry said something new, and when it comes to allegations and things like that, women will use this whenever they have a book coming out or something to promote, as a way to promote. They'll bring up allegations, they'll bring up old wounds and hurts because it's drama. People want to hear about it. People are messy, and it helps drive ratings to whatever, drive attention to whatever you're doing. So if you understand that it is an old story and it's false, you would think that the person who's it's directly affecting, when they tell you, hey, I don't want the story out because it's not true, and you're reporting false news, that you would take it down. But he basically said, it's out of my hands, essentially. It's my staff. He's basically hiding behind his staff. And Joe Budden was calling him out, basically saying, you're the boss. If you tell them niggas to drop the story is dropped. There's no reason why you should keep watching my story, or you should keep posting stories that are false, when I am telling you, I'm confirming to you, these stories are false. And when you continue to put bad press on me at inconvenient times, it can fuck up my money, because everything, all this derives back to $1. They also talked about other things. Basically, Joe Budden saying that Adam 22 is a culture vulture, which, is he a culture vulture? That you could have that debate. There are things that he does that is culture vulture activity, like when he did that Celine podcast, and Celine said all those crazy stuff about about academics, and then that was a drama situation. Pretty much, Adam 22 gets to conveniently duck his head into the sand and feign ignorance whenever other people in his party or even him cover stories that negatively affect people. He's able to say, well, I didn't know, I wasn't able to do this, I wasn't able to do that. That's a convenient thing that white people are able to do that black people are not. Black people, Charlemagne, he got jumped. People tried to call academics a bitch. Things happen to black people in media, and a lot of white people, they do not suffer any consequences. So he's bringing that up. And Joe Budden was saying wild things as well. He's saying like you should give these rappers an IQ test before you interview them, because not everybody's a grown-up is a grown-up. And it's like, no one believes that. Everybody's a grown-up, and then you can make your own decisions. If you choose to do illegal activity and continue to do so when you're a grown-up, like that's you. Like that is your accountability, that you have to take responsibility for your actions. No one is here to babysit you. You shouldn't have to babysit grown men. People should be able to grow out of who they were if they did illicit illegal activity. I do agree with that. I believe in second chances, but I also feel like people are allowed to make their decisions, both good and bad. And if they want to get on a mic and say illicit things, and someone has a platform where they're trying to get heard, they're trying to promote their music, I feel like they should have a platform to do so. And No Jumper has provided that platform for a lot of new artists. Now, you can argue the artists he's covered are a lot of the things that are negative tropes and stereotypes of the black community. A lot of, death, kill, murder music. He does a lot of old school rappers, but does he do a lot of new school rappers in that vein? Not really. He did Manny the Butcher, but there's a lot of other rappers that, he could or couldn't do. His argument is they don't get as much views. If he does a rapper like Boldy James, it won't get as much attention as if he does a rapper like Trippie Redd. So that's what it is. Or FBG Cash, RIP. So that is, he says it's okay. Adam also says it's okay to just do things if the audience wants it. And I disagree with that. Just because the audience wants something doesn't mean you have to give it. Maybe it's incentive for me. I'm a small platform to do so because I'm trying to get any money. I'm trying to get anything. Please donate. Cash App in the thing. You see my little ticky scroll? Yeah. Okay. So, but it's convenient to do so. But once you add at a certain level, like they're media moguls, you should not have to do this anymore. I think so. I don't think you have to just feed the audience what it wants. I feel like you set the pace. You tell the audience what to think. You are the programmer at that point. And so I feel like him just obeying the algorithm is very disingenuous. But one thing I will say that is disingenuous that Joe Budden doesn't want to acknowledge is that he is a big proponent. He's his whole marketing is being the old uncle grandpa, angry uncle grandpa ass nigga in hip hop. He doesn't like the new rappers. He doesn't like new style. He doesn't like these new niggas. He has no interest in talking to them. He has no interest in interviewing. His platform is mainly not an interview-based platform. It's him and his friends talking shit about drama, music, this, that, or the other. So you aren't the one to do it. So why are you judging somebody else who's giving an opportunity from somebody to further express and further push their art when you don't want to do it? And that was never discussed. Nobody taught anything. Academics also reacted to this and didn't talk about it. No one talked about that, but I feel like that's a big elephant in the room. You don't want to do it, so who is going to? You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing I'll say with that situation. I recommend people watch it because you get a good intake on media battles and media wars from people who are next to each other in the media sphere, looking at each other eye to eye and saying, this is something I have a problem that you did. And watching somebody else be like, my staff, and they just immediately start calling police. I feel like that's weird. But I also think it's weird when someone Joe Budden made a big point of, if you felt this, if you just want to make this content and put it out there, then you should demonetize it. I don't know. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments about it. If you feel like, hey, if I cover somebody and I repost content right after they die, should be monetized, should be demonetized. If it's monetized, should I give the money to the family? There's another thing. Basically, here's the thing. So Adam 22 made an argument that hip hop has always been about conflict. It's directly vibed. All the great moments in hip hop has been derived off conflict. Think there's always been dance, battle, rap, battle. There's a battle in everything when it comes to hip hop. and mainly because it originates from people who are no longer wanting to do illegal activity and they wanted to find a positive way and a positive outlook outside of killing each other. So it's that, but it's also a lot of politics, a lot of Black Panther ideologies pushed through hip hop. That's never really acknowledged. But I associate a lot of things with hip hop with competition. I wouldn't necessarily call it conflict. Conflict is often the thing that gets overblown in the media, but that's something that the media has fodder to talk about. Not everybody wants to sit and talk about the music itself. They want to talk about the personality. They want to talk about who they're dating. They want to talk about what did they bought. They want to talk about their lifestyle. And that is the job of the media. And with that comes with a lot of these beefs and these deaths and all this negative things that have come with hip hop that some people feel like you have to do to be successful. So it always comes down to this. It's one of those chicken or the egg discussions. If the audience, we all know this has been the narrative as old as time in terms of media, old newspapers. What is it saying? If it bleeds, it leads. This has always been a thing in all media. If it bleeds, it leads. If it has something to do with death, people are just more interested. Some part of us, this whatever leftover Neanderthal ideology, we like seeing public executions. We like seeing people wild out. We like seeing the train wreck. That's something no one wants to admit. We love seeing the train wreck happen. But when someone gives you the train wreck, you point out the person giving you the train wreck and you look at them as a bad person. But if you never wanted to be interested in these things, then you would not continue to glue your eyes to it. So that's one of those things. Whose fault is it? Is it because at the end of the day, media is only giving you what you ask for. If it was more profitable for media to talk about things that were not bleeding, then they would not be leading. But because it's bleeding, the bleeders are the leaders, then that's what ends up being leakered, discussed, talked about in a sense. Because a good example of this is academics during the war in Iraq. He talked about a lot about what was happening in the war in Iraq, right? He's talking about a lot of the inner workings and the O Block and all that, and people blame him for all the murders, but people were killing each other before then. A lot of these systemic issues is not hip hop's fault. It's the politicians' fault. It's poverty. It's America's failing economy. We're in a falling empire stage, and people do not want to fix a lot of these long-term problems in the community. They just want to put the money and the tax money to overseas and insert foreign war over here. But in truth, a lot of places that are the hood and Section 8 household, there have been surveys that said that these hoods are equivalent to third world countries. And so people are living in these third world conditions while in the richest country on earth. And that's a crazy dichotomy to be in. Imagine killing somebody the same year and then blowing up because your song went crazy. Like take K on the race. People do these wild, violent crimes, put it on a rap, and they become legendary. This happens in real life. So what is it's always a question of what is somebody who does not see any way out to do in this situation? What choice do they have? This is why I feel like there should be other avenues for people to do outside of sports or music. There's a lot of things to do within those industries, as in just being the ball player or the rapper. You know, there's the engineer, producer, there's the coach, there's a whole lot of other things. There's also mentorship programs. There's a lot of other things I feel like that could be discussed and could be talked about, but I'm getting a little bit off topic. But one thing I will say is people don't acknowledge that this is that people are giving you what you want. People are serving you what you ask for to some degree. Now, if you watch Social Dilemma, you also understand social media is built for people to argue, is built for people that fully inflames certain parts of you to make you respond, make you react, to keep you on the platform because conflict sells. So that's another thing I feel like should be acknowledged. Is there any other drama I want to look through? Let me look through the Shade Room. This ain't Shade Room. This is Grand Wizard. He's a chat Negro. All right, so let me see. I'm transitioning into some basketball topics, but to wrap up music, I'm anticipating Trippie Redd dropping, Yeet, Travis Scott, Lil Uzi, and ESTG. Those are the rappers I'm really anticipating dropping right now. But yeah, in local ratchetivity, let me make a tiny screen. Ratchetivity, ratchet news. Lana Rhoades has revealed that the father, that Blake Griffin was the father of the Lana Rhoades kid. Allegedly, they said it was KD at first, and then it was Blake Griffin. So you are the father. I get a DNA test. I ain't playing that shit. DJ Khaled is funny. God did. Oh yeah, bro. Can somebody get the Hulk shit, bro? I'm not mad at Meg. I'm mad at the Hulk shit. Why are you twerking? You better really yak that hoe. What is she doing? What is this? Chill out. Just Meg the Stallion. Yeah, I know. I saw a joke like, hey, when she was shaking it, the glass should have shattered. Earthquake should have happened. I don't know. I know whenever they make that the white people doing the black culture shit, it always looks cringe. Why are white girls twerking? I don't want to see white girls twerking. If Meg Thee Stallion was in this, I didn't even see this episode. I don't even want to see this episode. I don't even like this shit. You know what they be doing to Hulk? You know what they turn Hulk into? It's fucking Smart Hulk. I was roasting this shit the other day, bro. I was trying to shout out to Nameless Chuck, bro. We were trying to watch. He was trying to show me this shit. I'm like, yo, you see this shit? Hey, I'm about to make the screen bigger, bro. Y'all see this shit, man? Look what they did to Hulk. Look what they did to my man Bruce Banner, bro. This used to be the Hulk, bro. Who is this nigga, bro? What happened to him? What'd you do to the Hulk? What did you do to him? I called him Smart Hulk. Because he literally took the accent of a little bit of like, listen, I don't want to say it in a messed up way, but he took a little bit of special ed. They added the special ed in his voice, but he's saying he's still the Hulk. He's like special ed Hulk. Why are you making the Hulk special ed? Be smart. Why can't he just be a monster and just destroy stuff? What happened to that Hulk? They want him to act. They really into Mark Ruffalo acting, bro. So it's all madness for real. In other related news, is Leonardo DiCaprio a vampire? Does he suck the soul out of the living? Because he doesn't. The whole thing is like he broke up with this new girl this month because she turned 25, and if you see the chart index, he don't stay with girls past 25. When they turn 25, he's like, ew, I get rid of you. You're loose. Whatever he be saying. You're no longer fresh. I need a new one. Oh, I cast you out. Is that what he be doing? Loose. I cast you out. 25. I cast you out. I feel like that's what he does. So he's probably a vampire. I feel like he sucks the youth out of them, and it makes him stronger, and that gets him closer to winning Oscars. Allegedly. I like how he'll never do interviews. He'll never talk about it either. I just feel like that's interesting. Yeet leaking Nav's album date and dissing him in a fan group chat gotta be the most random beef of 2022. So yeah, that's a alleged. Is this Brown Boy beef? Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go. I mean, I like Yeet more than Nav. Pierre Bourne dropped a tape. That's another person who dropped. Some Andrew Tate, something. Why is Drake looking like that? Drake be changing up his hairdo. And this is something else that goes in the marketing and into everything. This hairdo is looking crazy. Is he doing the Jerry curl? Somebody said this is what good coke will do to you. Have you doing the drip? I don't know about none of that. But it's all. I feel like Drake does that to reinvent himself, similar to Tyler when he makes different personalities. So that's just another way that people go about doing things. I don't think it's right or wrong. I think it's something interesting that people do. All right, so I'm gonna transition to some basketball topics. But in the interim, here's some anime. That new Game of Thrones shit hitting. If you ain't watching that new Game of Thrones prequel, House of Dragon shit, that shit smacking. Shout out to the Thrones fans. And the only other anime I'm really watching consistently is Uncle in Another World, that show I referenced last stream. It's a real good show. I'm still waiting on Chainsaw Man to drop. I know Rick and Morty finna drop soon and Bleach finna drop soon. But that is where I am at with that. I'm gonna try to get on Twitter. I'm scared to go on Twitter though. There'd be porn just popping up on my shit. Hold on, let me not share my screen, and then I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna stop the share, and then I'm gonna share it. All right, big tune screen. Also, guys, I'm throwing a beat battle on September 16th, and it'd be great if you know any producers who want to produce in the beat battle. Please tell them to DM me and follow me on all my socials, and all that will be linked in the description below. Yeah, so the price for that is $250. We get studio time at the Name Strict Studios, and you also get loops, also made by the people who brought to you all them tunes you heard in the beginning of the stream. Sway Carpet. Hold on, I'm gonna play my little tag. Hold on. All right, we gotta get the sound effects to go. Button.
Suede carpet, suede carpet, suede carpet, suede carpet.
So yeah, that would be that. Had to get that off real quick. And now I'm gonna look at Twitter because I'm trying to find certain stories in basketball. Trades have been happening. Pretty much though, to wrap it up, Kevin Durant thought he was gonna leave Brooklyn, but he's like 34. He has like no value. Not that he has no value, he's still like a top 7 player in the league, but he on a 4-year contract. Ain't nobody want that shit. You know, like how contracts were. People don't just up and just want to trade. They have to make cap space. They have to move pieces around. You have to announce your trades ahead of time. You got to talk to people. He said, I want to trade. I want to leave. And he also didn't, his thing didn't have a no trade clause in it. So they could just be like, no, you have 4 years left on your deal. You signed the plantation contract. You here now. And you ain't going nowhere. And that's what the fuck happened. Foolishness. So I feel bad for Lakers fans. I'm a Lakers fan to some degree. And, they just did a trade for Patrick Beverly or some shit. Like it's hopeless, bro. I was in a spaces with some dudes on the Let's Keep It a Buck podcast, and I was like, bro, just blow the shit up, bro. I'm tired. I'm a weak Lakers fan. LeBron, just go back to Cleveland. I don't care anymore, man. Just go get you a ring. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. I'm tired of Russell Westbrook. I'm tired. We're gonna have another year. They still haven't traded Russ yet. What are they gonna do? All right, boom. All right, so I was overreacting. I'm trying to come back to myself, but I'm semi-passionate about my sports takes. More will become soon. Shams is a good way if you want to learn about NBA Twitter trades. He'd be announcing them. Him and Woj with the Woj bombs. All right, so Gallinari, he's a guy in the Celtics, and he messed up his knee in the Euro ball because FIBA's going on. If you haven't watched Euro basketball is going crazy right now. There's a great game between Serbia and Greece, and Giannis and Jokic were playing, and it was a very interesting competition. It was very close. I think Jokic's team won, but Giannis was essentially carrying, doing everything he could. I want to see if they have the meme of him actually tearing the actual injury itself. It was very brutal. You can see they don't got it. It was very brutal ACL tear. I will say that though. So he tore his shit. That's how Celtics fans are feeling. I feel similar. I relate to their pain. I remember he was conflicted. Oh wait, I remember now. Before I get into any of this basketball talk, yo, can we quickly talk about that Kendrick shit, bro? I ain't gonna show the video, but yo, why you had that girl butt naked, man? Why you starting off the sex section straight doggy style? This is savagery, man. Why can you show sex on YouTube? Is it just because you're Kendrick? All right, so if y'all don't know, if you watch a We Cry Together video, at the very end of the video, Kendrick slides open them ass cheeks and he is clapping that bitch openly. I mean, she has some type of, pixelated junk going on, but her ass out. They be having people butt ass, and then people be mad about YouTube's terms of service and how it's unfair. This, at the third. How come this person can post this person can't post that? Why is Kendrick Whole clap some chick on their OnlyFans and girl out on YouTube, and he can just be safe? I'm doing this high version of art. You can't possibly understand. I'm King Kunta. I'm Kendrick Lamar. He can just get away with doing that. Some people can't. And that's just what it is. Some people get canceled, some people don't. Why? Because of optics. Because Kendrick as a guy that gives you good art. And if he's a guy who's made a living on giving you good art, good content, and if he shows to give you a nipple slip, he will occasionally sometimes give you a nipple slip. But he will be doing it under the guise of, this is Black excellence. I am Kendrick. I am the big step up. I just found that interesting. All right, so I want to take a detour on that. I want to understand how y'all felt about that, because why is he allowed to just do that? He's allowed to get the yikes out. Shit crazy, man. This is the time we live in, man. But yeah, KD failed to leave the plantation. He's gonna be on Brooklyn this year, and Kyrie gonna be there with Ben Simmons, and that is gonna look like a whole lot of hot mess. Okay, so the biggest trade that people are talking about essentially is Donovan Mitchell got traded. People are be shitting on the Hawks, but I'm happy with the Hawks trade. I feel like they're a good team. But essentially, the Jazz have completed their blow up. They blew up with the trading Rudy Gobert, and now they recently traded Donovan Mitchell to Cleveland for Colin Sexton, Laurie Marketing, Ochai Abaji, 3 first-round picks and 2 pick swaps. So essentially 5 first-round picks for Donovan Mitchell. Some people say it was an overpay because you don't know, Colin Sexton might have turned into that player over time. But it's okay. Let me see. Free agent Marcus Morris is a 1-year deal with the Brooklyn Nets. See Marquise Morris on the Brooklyn Nets pending a physical exam. That'd be interesting. That's some wing depth to their roster going forward. Still is a very thin roster. I really don't know what they're gonna do. So yeah, the Raptors waived a player. I don't know how to say his name. The Nets has signed free agent Yuta Watanabe. Watanabe on my wrist. Yuta Watanabe on my wrist. And then Chet Holmgren, he's out for the season. He'll miss the entire season due to a foot injury. And then the Jazz, their traded Patrick Beverly to the Lakers for Taylor Horton Tucker. This is why Lakers fans are mad, because essentially they thought they were going to get Kyrie Irving, and they are not able to get Kyrie Irving, unfortunately. So I wonder how this season is going to go. There's a lot of cool things with the addition of Donovan Mitchell to that Cleveland roster with Evelyn Mobley and Darius Garland. People are projecting them to be a top 5 seed, and that's a fair assumption to make. They're essentially at least the middle to the top half of the conference. If you want to say the Bulls or the Hawks, but the current teams people are saying are Boston, the Bucks, the Heat as the big 3 teams, and then after that, people argue Philly, and people say Brooklyn here and there, depending on what Brooklyn does. But Cleveland can slide in that 5th spot. Atlanta can slide in that 5th spot. The Bulls can slide in that 5th spot. So those 3 teams, I consider those middle teams, and we're going to see how they will progress forward. I hear my cat in the background, and I'm ignoring it. Stop it. It looked back at me, but we going to see. Anyway, so yeah, I project like this year going to be real interesting. It's unfortunate that Chet Holmgren didn't get to play. I wanted to see his rookie season. There is a program run that I thought was really interesting with Steph Curry and Trae Young are on the same team, and they're just both launching threes and shooting at each other. I thought that was really interesting. Other trade news, Bronny has a real cool he's developing, and he has a really cool mixtape people didn't think he was going to make the league, or if he did, it'd be just because of LeBron. But no, he's blossoming into his own player, so that deserves a good acknowledgement. Shout out to Bronny James. RJ Barrett, they maxed out RJ Barrett for the New York Knicks. I think it's a really dumb trade. I don't really understand why they did that, but it essentially meant that Donovan Mitchell, the Spire to New York thing, was essentially not going to happen. That kind of put the axe into that whole thing, and that essentially prevented that from happening. I don't understand why they re-signed RJ, because I mean, I get a homegrown talent, but it also just doesn't seem like it just seems like they're mid. They got who else? They got Jalen Brunson. They got RJ Barrett as their backcourt. It's such mid. And then I'm gonna say this and then watch like New York actually be good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know sports. But I just wanted to get those sports topics off at the moment. Yep. But I'm looking forward to this current NBA season coming up. I feel like it'll be fraught with a lot of drama from both teams to watch if you want to watch basketball, not for the basketball, but just for like the drama of people just arguing at each other and probably throwing shit at each other in toxicity. If you want to see like madness happen, just straight mudslinging, I'd watch the Lakers and I watch the Brooklyn Nets. I'd watch those two teams for just straight dysfunction. If that's what you're into, if you're not into sports for sports, but you're into sports for like reality television for men, I would watch those two things. And yeah, those are all my current topics. There's something else I feel like I had on the tip of my tongue. I'm gonna try to find it. But if I can't find it, I'll probably wrap it up. Kanye said Kim Kardashian be diarrheaing and all over the place. Why does he say that? What benefit is that to him? Don't you want to see your kids? You know they ain't gonna let you see him. Is this you just writhing in the mud? Like I ain't gonna see my kids, so I'm gonna just op on you. Let us know in the comment section. Do you think does this help you see your kids going off for your baby mom? Does going off on your baby mom ever work? When has it ever been a good idea to go off on your baby mom? Has that ever done anything positive to your relationship with your children? Let me know. Obviously not. No one's ever said nobody ever. Like, yeah, of course. It was a real thirsty clip. She was shooting a shot at Funk. You can't tell me she wasn't, bro. You can't tell me. Look at this. Look at this.
Wait, okay. And I'm not gonna lie. So I want you to look in my eyes when I want you to look into my eyes. Okay. Look. I ain't fucked in a year, but I'm ready to fuck. I might just give my pussy to an OG buck. Like Funk Flex, come fuck out my pussy and done. Real bad gal spinning on your dick to your pump. How you feel about that? You're sorry.
Hey yo, that's all he was trying to say. He's like, hey yo, we on air, shorty. We are on air. Yeah. I think it's crazy what people will do when you put a camera in someone's face. You never know. This is a funny clip I liked. Essentially is it Joe Rogan?
What did you ever play on it? Yeah. What did you play on? Percocet. And what was the and what
He basically admitted to playing on Percocet. Where will you see somebody admit they're playing football on Percocet anywhere else but that Joe Rogan podcast, man? That's for some reason he makes people just give it up. I can't describe it. Why would you say that? I would never admit that. You win the MVP off Percocet, who knows, bro? Like that's something. Oh yeah, the baby. They're saying the baby couldn't sell tickets, right? Right. They're saying like the baby struggling to sell ticket sales, but I don't know if that's real. Well, it probably is real, but here's the thing: like he's not on tour right now. It's a one-off show, and it's like basically a promoter thing, right? So if it's the promoter, a promoter will book an artist and they're willing to go into the hole. Like, he's already paid, and it's up to them to make money. So maybe they canceled the show because they couldn't, because the promoter didn't properly promote the event for the baby to come. So I wouldn't say that's him really falling off, but the narrative is he's falling off. He said negative things about the rainbow community, so they will, what I'm saying? Optics is everything. Choose who you talk about. Choose wisely. Remember that when people are saying choose wisely. Because if you do not, may the Lord help you. May the Lord forgive you for your sins. Because in general, I said all that at the beginning when I talked about the media, because in the court of public opinion, there is no forgiveness. Things will always be brought up against you. At least in court, you go to jail. You can go to, there's a punishment and you get released. But there is no release from the court of public opinion. Kanye's still talking about his outfit. This is outrageous. Me and Hove brought back long verses. I don't know. Kanye also, he made a long verse. I don't know. There's another thing somebody said that I found was interesting. They said hip hop got bad when marijuana outpaced cigarette use for the first time in U.S. history. It's very interesting. And also Black China allegedly is the top earner in OnlyFans. She made like $20 million a month. Is there? I mean, the numbers say is there, and I think it's funny that Tyga's also one of the top earners there too. Like they're both together. They both on porn, essentially. I don't know if people believe this or don't believe this, because some people say she would earn, that means she would earn like 6.7% or some of all earnings. So yeah. This one girl spending surgery at Marilyn Monroe. That's goofy. Why would you do that? People spend money on anything. Moneybagg Yo signed a new artist. This is good. No Cap denies dissing Lil Durk. I feel like he signed a Young Boy. I feel like they're trying to cool down stuff since they're Young Boy about to go on tour, and they trying to not make it hot. I'm trying to find. But essentially, oh, this is another thing I want to talk about, the T.I. thing. If he keeps his ass going to prison. All right, so how you feel about if your kid be acting a fool? Now they at the age they can get arrested now. And people are asking you, raise your kid better, do this for your kid, help your kid. It's like they grown. What am I do? What you finna do with this rich kid? You gonna cut him off? What you finna do? What is the process to deal with spoiled rich kids? What do you do about spoiled rich kids when they start acting up? Is there any like real solution for that? Because you see a lot of these kids of these celebrities, they're crazy people. They're on drugs. You see Chet Hanks, that has fake patois accent. Like, I don't know what happens or what, what I'm saying, abandonment issues they going through, whatever counseling they need, they should get it. But again, people only want help if you want to help. He don't look like he wants help. He wants to be a gangster like his dad. He don't go to jail like his dad. He don't deal with controversy like his dad. But T.I. trying to tell him now, hey, you better wisen up. They're coming for you if you not chill your ass out. Ain't nothing else you can say. Oh, so this is a Lil Baby announcement. All right, boom. So Lil Baby's album, I'm gonna add that to album I'm expecting. His album is going to drop on October 14th. Hopefully they don't move the date. Very very interesting. All right, so I'm gonna close with this. With the Kanye meme in the background. So this one post I read, somebody pretty much said that hip hop started being bad when people like Biggie, Jay-Z, and Lil Wayne said they didn't write their verses. because it gave the expectation that I don't have to write my verses anymore. People always talk about, and rappers will be in the studio, niggas be hungry to hop on the mic, right? But they don't have anything prepared. They hop on the mic, they ain't got nothing to say. Is that my cat in the background? I think it was. Yep, you saw my cap. All right, so people always talk about, they're thirsty to hop on the verse, but they have nothing to say. And I think the origin of that is the punching culture that comes that, I'll say the technology, number one, got better. It became easier to record people as it became easier to make edits, because we're way past the whole era of using tape and whatnot, where you had to put the tape together in the takes, and one take meant so much because they had to do tape, they had to slice it up physically and put together. All this is now digital, so this makes the recording process much easier. So because of that, because engineers are so good, rappers can essentially phone it in and the song will still sound good. And with the ethos of, oh, I don't write, few rappers are fine with it, like Juice WRLD, Lil Wayne, other rappers. They're few and far between. Silence cap. But a lot of these rappers don't have anything to say on the mic, and they should write. But because some of the top 3 rappers of all time don't write, it became acceptable for people not to write. So people started trying less, in a sense, and beats also, production went up in music. So technology went up, production went up, and lyricism went down because it became socially acceptable not to write, and they go based off of feeling. And that has led to the decline of why rap is the way it is now, why people do not write, people want to punch in, and people think they're better art thou. But my thing is, I do both. I write down sometimes, I punch in sometimes. I never say there's one way, solid way to do or not to do something. I always leave people it open to the creative process, because people create in different ways, right? But I will say, if you want to be considered an all-time great, it would benefit you to write. Nothing wrong with writing, nothing in shame of writing. In fact, back in the day, people used to be praised for their pen, what they wrote down. And I feel like that has become a lost art in some degree, except with, of course, the jazz rappers. You got the Joey Badass, Rocky Marciano, all those other, Griselda, as Boldy James, all these people who are revitalists and have that old school sound and that flair back again. This has been a returning theme, vintage rap, classic jazz rap. I don't even know if they write, but it sounds like they do. At least sounds like they're putting in more effort than the modern trap rapper. So I feel like people should write again. Ain't nothing wrong with writing. Nowadays, people get their most grittiest, rawest raps and stuff and storytelling and things from drill rap, either New York drill, Chicago drill, drill rap, gangster rap. And that's not the only place you're gonna find that. I just feel like it became socially acceptable to do so. People only want to hear stories, like, because it bleeds, it leads. They only want to hear people go through these crazy stories or these dramatic experiences before you listen to anything they have to say, even if it's a catchy tune. And I feel like that's sad too, because people have to essentially be the creators of their own crazy hangover style mixed with menace to society type of life story they have to create and manufacture. Some people don't manufacture this in real life. Some people like that to manufacture an evil backstory and an origin story in order to exist on the microphone. And I feel like if you just took time to write, maybe you wouldn't have to crash out and people wouldn't have to do any of those things. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in, listening in. We're still working on some technical issues with the sound here and there. We'll continue to work on that. As always, my if you want to help out, you can cash at me and donate to the cause. That helps us out. This has been a nice birthday stream, and I appreciate everybody that has listened in. And I'm gonna give y'all more cool takes and content that'll come up soon. Thank you for being here. It's been Tune, and you've been now tuned in to Tune TV. Where's my thing? I'm gonna play all out with all my stuff.
Suede, carpet.
Oh no, that wasn't that. That's all I want.
Snuggle Squad Entertainment.
Yeah. Snuggle Squad.
Snuggle Squad, Snuggle Squad, Snuggle Squad, Snuggle Squad Entertainment.
I was gonna play y'all off and make it like smooth, but I don't got DJ equipment yet. But we gonna get the DJ equipment. We gonna get all that. We gonna hook it all up. When we hook it all up, it's gonna sound crazy. That's Kolioka, but I wanted to play a lot with this. Thank y'all for listening.
Damn, son, where'd you find this? Damn, son, where'd you find this? This is a certified hood classic.
Baby, you're my big kryptonite. You stole my pride, ego inside. You're my big kryptonite. Sugar and spice, everything nice. You're my big kryptonite.
She's got my soul, she's got my heart. Light up, gas from the spark. I can tell you about our journey and how things been going so far. She's like my father, love is lame, kind name. I be feeling so powerless, pink and green. Kryptonite, spoken love, and all my allergies. You know, sometimes if she mad for all the stupid things that I did. I was young, just a kid, no excuse, just what it is. Giving real, no counterfeit. Yeah, being vulnerable as shit. Look. Cause I get so nervous around you. My brain don't have service around you. My feelings on ecstasy, cause everything just feel perfect around you. I feel like I'm at work when I'm around you. Yeah, when I'm around you. Damn, how did that sound, boo? Like this is the killing our time to. Wanna see what this turn into. Wanna see what this turn into. After all the things I've been through, maturing and growing my mental. Back to God, back to love for the mental. Back to you, because it's so simple. Back to you, cause it's always been you. The beautiful soul within you.
You're my big kryptonite. You stole my pride. Ego inside. You're my big kryptonite. Sugar and spice, everything's nice. You're my big kryptonite.
This unreleased tune.
Snuggle Squad Entertainment.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Taking the stroll like early February, so nice outside, feeling similar to a fall spring event. Let us know recently it brings a bitter sense of irony. Once again reminded of the increase in global warming. In the same way that the pirates have been ignored that casually, I might another the sickest as the despair is weightless on me. Kinda like keep breezy and no air. I know life isn't fair, that could be easy to swallow this pain. Goes nowhere, but there's always tomorrow. That's what I've been telling myself to deal with mental health. It's so hard for me to ask for help. I've been hitching at my girl, she bitching right back at me. First my mom kicked me out the crib, now she don't want me to leave. Thought I could make it on my own with bro, so I had to fall. Cause it's more to life than aging when it comes to being grown. Should be working overtime, but I'm making beats all the time. Social anxiety makes it hard for me to stop. If I don't get over that, it's my fault. Oh well, like every that time he got lost in his own shell. I'm walking still, but at this point I'm trying to find the calm. But I can't get back the sensation of wanting to be gone. I've always felt like this ever since I was young. Started during the separation of dad and mom. And even though we reconciled, the feeling is still strong. It's been growing since then. I was 9 or 10, 7 months till 25. I don't wanna be alive. These voices in my head, they're screaming at me to drive. This is Debbie down a rap. I apologize, just need a place to describe the agony that realize. While 10 cents avoid being happy, I think that explains why all my cool friends no longer hit my line. Yeah, lately I've been pushing it, but this time around, yeah, looking at my phone, all it just gave me anxiety. For some of y'all, it's been a couple years since y'all been outside, but as of right now, no, I can't contain it. Smoking treat daily till the feeling kicks in. But as of right now, I let the pain give in. Cause as of right now, I want to be numb again. Cause as of right now, I just wanna be brainless. Yeah, I'm walking still, I'm a mirror on my hip. I take the cold grip and then I let it rip. Let's get the urge, let the pain give in. Last day on earth, so I let the pain mix in. Yeah, if no one even sees the tree fall, tell me, has it ever existed? Yeah. Yeah, cause I can't contain it. Smoking tree daily till the feeling kicks in. But as of right now, I'm letting the pain give in. Cause as of right now, I just wanna be numb again. Cause as of right now, I wanna be brainless. Yeah, I can't contain it. I just wanna hold the clip and be brainless. Last day on earth, so I let the pain mix in. Last day on earth, so I let the pain mix in. Yeah.
So June begins his journey, diving deep into the forever dream. He thinks he's going to the afterlife, but little does he know, he has another thing coming. Just now, he's about to be reincarnated into Minnie's God.
Thank y'all. Y'all been tuning in to Tune TV.
This song's about some fucking asshole who took a shit on my rep.
Hey. I did not mean to do that. But thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all been tuning in to Tune TV.